Thank you for joining us.
Pleasure is all mine. Thank you.
You know, I had the opportunity to sit and chat with you yesterday over a cup of coffee, and I found the journey fascinating. And I'm going to read this from here because I don't want to get the number wrong. 100 crore turnover 15 years ago, and 4 stores. And today, it's a 3,500 crore turnover with 130 plus stores. I mean, the number is staggering. From 100 crores 15 years ago to 3,500 crores. Tell us about this journey.
So, you know, the journey as it begins starts with a vision, with a thought. So after finishing my education, finishing my MBA from IMT Ghaziabad, when I joined business along with my father, as the turnover was 100 crore, you start thinking big. You start having a goal in mind and say that let us work towards achieving the goal. But that is a part of the vision. But then what is important is the execution. And what are the processes that you move towards achieving the numbers? So it starts with, you know, reaching out to more and more customers. Customers used to come from various parts of the country trying to buy your kind of jewelry. Why? Because, Bengal, where we originally belong to, is famous for its handcrafted jewelry. The karigars working all across the country comes from the villages in and around Bengal. You know, skill, craftsmanship, this is something that is very inherent to India. And I must tell you that it is not just in the country, but all over the world. 90% of the diamond, cut and polished diamonds are done in India. We are the second or the third largest jewelry manufacturers for the world. So it is a skill that is inherent with us in our country, in our part of the country for more than 5,000 years. So it was only but natural that you reach out to more and more customers. And then, along with your stores, how do you reach out to them? So today we think of online model, there is a whole platform. But at that point of time, it was through the franchisees that we started entering, not only the bigger cities, but also into tier 2, 3, 4 cities of the country. So the growth of the country as we see currently is not only the urban India, but it is also the rural Bharat. So together, we reached out more. And then when you deal with precious jewelry, how do you deal with them? You need to have a very strong backend, a very strong tech-oriented backend that helps you to control. So implementation of processes, audits, ERP systems, so that you're tracking the data, you're ensuring that you're getting the right kind of product to the right kind of customer. So there is a whole lot of back-end thinking, and finally the execution, and then the brand building. And that's where you see that with all the effort of the full team, you reach a number, and then there's more to achieve in the future.
And I hope that number goes higher and higher with all the things that you have planned in the
Whatever
coming year.
we've been hearing about the India story, you know, I think we as entrepreneurs are extremely optimistic and positive that with the growth of India in the coming 10, 15 years, if we continue to focus on the Cheetah story that everyone has been talking about, that keep working towards it, you will achieve the goal. I'm sure we will achieve higher.
Speaking of the India growth story, do you want to talk about what the role of the jewelry industry is in India's growth story?
So see, jewelry industry plays a very integral role. First, we have heard of the Indian population, right? We are employing almost 75 to 80 lakhs of people in our industry, be it at the karigar level, at the store level. So productive employment of the new generation is very, very critical, and we are working really, really hard to work on the skill. Because what we have seen is that people who have been working in the industry, the new generation, are sometimes feeling that, oh, why should I get into this industry? There is so much skill and effort needed. You know, the tech industry is so much more glamorous. So as an industry, we are working towards skilling them, using more technology along with the handcrafted part, so that there is much more easiness, productivity, efficiency that we bring in. So that is one. Second is in terms of exports. So today, with the India growth story, the $5 trillion economy, the $7 trillion economy, we are contributing with more than 7% in the total GDP of the economy as an industry. Our exports, that counts to about 10 to 12% of the overall exports. So what is the formula of GDP? It's consumption, it's investment, it's the government infrastructure spending, and the exports. So as an industry, we have been working very closely with the government to ensure that the consumption goes up for the new generation customer, which is very, very critical. Because after all, these precious jewelry, gold, diamonds, it is a real asset. And there's a saving that happens for the family as well. Yeah.
Speaking of the new generation customer, and also for all those entrepreneurs out there who are looking for that gap that Dr. Sanjeev Juneja spoke about earlier, to identify what is the space where they need to go in with laser focus. Do shed some light on how the collaborative effort of trying to bridge both Bharat and India from a delivery standpoint, from a targeting standpoint, how does that sort of measure in your scheme of things, and what kind of lessons can people take from that?
So it all starts with the use of technology in all aspects. So let's say, as I was mentioning, the production aspect of it. Initially, people were doing handcrafted. The karigars were not so tech-enabled. But as an industry in manufacturing, it's called computer-aided design, computer-aided manufacturing, where the perfection of the jewelry to make it much more international standard is being worked towards. The quality of the jewelry, hallmarking as a process. So the industry along with the government is ensuring that the consumer gets the right kind of product. So that is some kind of machineries that are being used for manufacturing. The second part is in terms of service. So the industry is working towards like using of CRM, the customer, what kind of jewelry they are buying, and to address them, their needs. So that if someone wants to buy jewelry for office wear, you're providing that based on the need of the customer. For marriages, you have the data, you're providing it accordingly. So that is in terms of service. In terms of product, digital gold. That's something which is very, very interesting, where for the new generation, you don't have the risk and the headache of storing gold in your almirah. It might get lost. So as an industry, as a brand, we've made something called a mydigigold.com, where for as low as rupees 250, one can buy the gold, and we will store it on the behalf of the customer. And as you keep accumulating it, when you feel like going and buying a jewelry or gifting it to your loved one, you can just go to the store or go online and redeem it. So this is how the service and the thinking to help the young generation save in gold, save in jewelry. These are the new kind of products that are being kind of implemented. So be it manufacturing, be it service, be it kind of products that we're coming out with, then the whole concept of lab-grown diamonds. Now I must tell you that worldwide, what are the ways in which, not only in the domestic consumption, but internationally, in the US, there's a very, very need of such products which is environment friendly. So you're not having to mine to get your diamond out, but you're creating in labs. And in our country, we've become almost the second largest exporter or the largest exporter of lab-grown cut and polished diamonds. Now, jewelry is going to be created. In 5 years, things will be different. So these are the new kind of products that will help the young consumers to save their money, to buy jewelry, to enjoy jewelry. And that's how I think as a country and as an industry will help to moving forward.
I think that's very interesting. I first heard about the concept of lab-grown diamonds from you, in fact, when we spoke yesterday. I have to admit my ignorance. I had no idea. I knew at the back of my head that there was something like this happening. But, thank you for shedding light on the role that lab-grown diamonds are now going to play in the jewelry industry. But I also want to take up something that you just spoke about, that the machinery that is now used to manufacture jewelry and how it is of international standards, and also maybe catering to international taste. Do you want to talk about Indian brands going global? How do you see that panning out?
So, see, India has always been a manufacturer. But what I think as an industry and the government need to work towards is building a brand India. So brand India, made in India jewelry should stand for quality, should stand for design. We have a very long culture of art, of craftsmanship, as I mentioned. Now it is like the way we are now the G20. We are leading the world. We are showing the world in so many aspects. It's a matter of time that the world starts looking at India for its design and quality. And I think we have one of the largest diamond jewelry companies in our country for the world. Even amongst, if you say, top 20 jewelry companies in the world, then there will be quite a few Indian jewelry companies that will feature there. But now it is time that Indian jewelry brand starts expanding, which I think the process has already started. And then soon, I think the world will want to own a piece of made in India jewelry. And that will really, really take things forward.
No, that'll be incredible. In fact, I also like what you just said, that the craftsmanship, the karigiri that one sees in India, and the world over, it's acknowledged as one of the finest craftsmanship examples available. And how what you are doing actually supports karigars, how it gives them sustainable lifestyles.
Right.
Do you want to talk about what Senco has done in terms of securing the livelihoods and futures of these craftsmen, of these karigars?
So we are working very closely with the karigars. Today we hear of ESG, right? The environment, the social part, and the governance part of it. Now, when it comes to the social part, we have spoken of what? That growth is important. But what is important is inclusive growth. You grow with everyone along with you, be it your partners, your franchisees, your employees.
And which is also the Bharat and India story you spoke about.
Exactly.
Collaborative growth.
The growth cannot happen by a few, it has to happen overall. And through such models of franchisee, working with the karigars, training them, enabling them with technology, upskilling them so that they are ready, because they have it in their blood, but it is about adoption of technology. The government has been investing in something called common facility centers across the country, and working very closely with the industry. There is a concept of mega common facility center that is being spoken about. Jewelry parks are being built all across the country, in which it will become an ecosystem which will be much more organized. So these are such initiatives where we are being able to bringing the technology as big organizations and then helping the karigars use those technology and creation of jewelry. And I think that it is this helping of the karigars. Also, when the last 2-3 years, everyone has been facing problem. The pandemic was there was no work. So as an industry, we went out of our way. As a company, we supported the karigars. We took care of their health, of the family, going out of their way. When it comes to, we're working, training women to be a part of the manufacturing process in the workforce. There have been cases also that we have tried to do, I think that, which has really, really helped, because we are in the business of design and art, that members of the LGBTQ community, because there is a lot of, I would say, artistry that is there in them, the flair is in them. So we as an industry are trying to make them a part of our industry, working, special quotas are being created, and that is how, as an industry, it's not just about wealth, it's not about gold, it's not about diamonds, it's about the wealth of the mind, and to make the world a better place and a better society, and that is how we are all working together as an industry.
I think those are really noble thoughts. I really enjoyed this conversation, the fact that you talk about bridging Bharat and India, not just from a word play base, but the fact that you're targeting your TG, you've gone from metro cities and also found customers in tier 2 and tier 3 cities, and that's how your growth story is largely built.
Yes.
As a result of bridging Bharat and India. And again, through the karigars, also resonates with the same theme of bridging Bharat and India and future. On a closing note, if there's one thing that you'd want to say, how do you see your future? And how do you see the future of India? And what role could technology and the digital interface play in that? And if I could get your thoughts on that.
So see, digital and technology has opened up the world. People, whether they're in the city, the young generation, or in the tier 2, 3, 4 cities, their aspirations are equal. Their exposure is equal. They want to get the best of the world. And I think as a country and as an economy, it is our responsibility that we work towards excellence and providing the best kind of product to our consumers. Gone are those days when we can think of chalta hai attitude and expect that the consumer will accept. No, everyone has their personalized needs, their personalized wants. And it is, as an industry, we need to go into the minutest of last mile requirements of the consumer and especially the young generation. So working on products which are not only to be kept in the locker, but the everyday wear jewelry, which people can actually wear and enjoy, and also it will work as a savings and investment for the consumer. So this is where I think technology will be used to reach out to new people, and with the exposure, with the economic development at the base level, I think that as a responsible brand, it is our responsibility to provide that best of designs and best of services to each and every citizens of the country. And I think that the support we've been getting from the government is that, through digital gold or through such initiatives, the World Gold Council has also been working on ensuring that everyone should be part of not only buying gold, but a saving economy. So this is how I think any kind of risk that we see.
Saving while consuming, which
Yes,
is the best of...
saving while consuming. And we have all seen unexpected changes, the climatic changes, the pandemic. So risks are a part of life, and it is this product that will enable you to hedge against risk and to be your friend and your family for all good times and the difficult times.
I wish you all the very best. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us.
Thank you very
so
much.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.